Good evening, gentlemen and ladies. We're here for round number something. I have it in the stream, but I can't remember the number off the top of my head. Amazing commentary. It's Jesper. Oh my god. Yes, it is. Behind all the music, I am hiding. We can see the guys reading up. 19 people. We're waiting for one more. Internet issues. But it's a phone call, so there's a lot of time for it to join. But only 18 minutes to join if you want to set a lap. Thankfully, all the standings are updated. So now I will have the freshest scores to go off of after round 5, so it's round 6. We have a couple of familiar names that haven't been in the season so far, like David Barry back in the McLaren, for example. So very happy to see that. Yeah, 19 drivers. We're waiting for Lewis to join up. Yeah, we are gonna get all the stuff up. And wait, Portugal is a very tricky track. It's a lot of angulation changes, and that makes it very tricky on power, especially through turn 4 here, and also turn 8, which is an uphill right-hander. I like the track. I am one of the few ones to actually like it. But yeah. And a funny stat for you guys is that in the last 2 races I have caught 100% of the incidents that have been reported, so hopefully I can keep that streak going today. Yeah, I've always had the camera at the right spots. As we see Yuzuri rounding the penultimate corner, and now through the final sweeping corner, carrying as much speed as possible, coming over the crest and beginning the first hot lap of round 6. So we go through the first couple of corners. Let's see, looks solid enough through the tricky turn 4. 22.9 as the sector time. Still looks very solid. It's also a track which is very harsh on track limits. Very easy to get an invalidation and track warnings later on. So you can see the Mercedes backing out, so probably made a mistake or invalidated somewhere. But Yuzuri coming through now, through the final bend, up the hill, running out of ERS, 1:19.7. You see Jonesy did invalidate, so Foskett? No, it's Street coming through. Street 1:18.0. A very good lap time. Ozan P2 18.4 for Ozan Tufan. So Foskett going P3. Liam is in the pits. It's iCommons. And he's gone and done a bloody 17.7. Barbarian has invalidated, so we'll go again. Haas with Giffy Boy coming through with an 82. The second half of Spectic has invalidated. So Gronfeld, yes it is, Gronfeld starting. Brinty invalidated, so we'll go again. Spillage is now coming through the final couple of corners. Where will it be? Preliminary P1 17.7. We have Jamal coming through 17.6, so it's getting faster and faster out there. Foskett improving 1:18.7. Street, I think, going for it again. We have Barbarian coming through with a 1:19.6. So P8 currently. Spectic coming through with a 1:18.6 to put themselves up into P7. You can see the Ferrari. Oh, Brenty coming over the line. I think they invalidated. And Gronfeld came over the line but had also an invalidation. Lewis is in, which is lovely to see. Spillage going into the pits. Panda coming over the line, P9 with a 1:18.8 on the mediums. Interesting. I would want to save the mediums for Q2. As we follow Jonesy around. We'll be braking and turning at a very fast speed. And you use the angulation to kind of throw you in and help you coming through. Want to use as much track as possible. 22.1. Downhill braking is very tricky, as you see Brenty and the Grotto smashing that time. 1:16.9. Here, very easy to take it too much and go out wide. And very easy to spin in the uphill. Downhill into an uphill. Very tricky in the wet, but luckily it seems to be dry, at least for quali. Here again, fairly tricky corner, deceivably seems kind of easy. And then around here, I use as much track as possible, and cutting in, Coming around. And some people prefer the short run, some people want more speed, but Jonesy 1:17.5. That's a P2 currently. A very, very good lap. Very solid lap from Jonesy. We see Lewis coming through, currently purple, but that might be because it's the first lap for Lewis to Beaker, so we will wait for a little bit until we say anything. The Ferrari behind, Brent is getting a free slipstream. Lewis de Beaker 1:17.2, a very good lap to go P2 for now. Go on board with the championship leader Skills Dan, who had a pretty bad day. Dan has actually invalidated, but Dan had a pretty bad day in Canada last time out. Didn't actually DNF, but classified as 2 laps down, I believe, after crashing with a couple of laps to go, and had picked up a penalty before that, which is unlike Dan. So we'll see. Liam has gone fastest. I totally missed that one. With a 1:16.7. So a very quick lap. Sharply coming over the line to P2 1:16.7 as well. 7:42. This dude in having validated. So we'll go on board with David Barry back in the McLaren car. Used to team up with Nat Packers last season, and is now a reserve driver, I believe. David coming over the line for a 1:17.4. Yuzuri has invalidated. Didn't get the time of it, but my guess would be turn 1. Street is on an improvement. P9 1:17.7. So P9 currently for Street. Let's see, Dan backing off to start a fresh lap. And I know some people take as wide a final corner as possible to carry as much speed as possible up the hill when charging up for a lap. Dan opting not to. You can see cars getting out of the way. And just needs to put up 1:17 to get through. Doesn't even need to be low 17, I think, because 1:17 will be fine. So we have quite a few drivers on about 1:18 so far. And now getting into more traffic. I think that's Yuzuri is on a lap as well, so absolutely no obligation to move out of the way for Yuzuri. So it goes slightly wide. We'll now Dan will get a free slipstream here, which will be even better when the ARS runs out. Goes before 3-lap old tires, so a very impressive lap from Dan with a 117 flat, which I think is enough to get through Yuzuri, taking out a brake marker, another brake marker. This will be annoying for the guys who don't use a braking line. Luckily for me, if I was in this race, that wouldn't bother me since I used the racing line. Busquets with a slight improvement needs to find a bit more time. Needs to find about half a second right now to get through. The question is, does Busquets have that in that Red Bull car? Loses all the time in sector 3. Spillage. Invalidated lap. Jonesy should be going for it. No, has no ERS and has invalidated as well. It will be very interesting with these guys, Spectic and Giffy. Right now, Giffy in that hot seat, 15th place, Spectic 4/10 behind. Spectic invalidates. So we'll go on board with Giffy Boy. Who is improving 1.5 tenths. That is exactly what we need. We can find just a bit more time now through sector 2 and sector 3. We'll likely get out of Q1. Dan has retired in the pits. Dan easily gonna make it through with a 117 flat. Giffy Boy running very close to the track limits on the inside there. Does improve by one, slightly more than 1.5 tenths, and has put Panda in that hot seat. Fosket has improved to P16, still not enough. And Stooge pulling themselves out so far. We still have Panda, for example, with a minute left. And most people will be on their final laps or just charging up for a lap with Gronfeld and Street on out laps. Oh, Panda half a second up. This will be a 17.6, 17.7 right now. And that's easily through. Panda. $17.4 finds even more time. P9. Crucial. Giffy Boy isn't gonna make it around. Giffy Boy is gonna be out. It's too far to the line. So Ozan will make it through. There goes the checkered flag. We will go on board with Gromfeld. Let's see what Gromfeld will do for Q1. 16.6, just to flex on him. Street on hot lap. Looks like it. Street is through though, so no worries there. Street goes into the pits. So just Panda just coming through now. So Q1 is done and dusted, everyone. Officially done. So going out is Giffy Boy, Fosket, Spectic, Barbarian, and Yuzuri. Q1. So you can see Gromfeld at the top, ahead of Liam, Sharpie, Jonesy, and Dan, the top 5. You can see Stooge, Ozan just making it through. Giffy Boy with a 1:18.0, so the 1:17 was the time to get. Fosket, Spectic, Barbarian, and Yuzuri going out. Haas, Red Bull, Haas. No, Haas, Red Bull, Haas, Ferrari, Williams. One Williams, one Ferrari, one Red Bull, and no Haas in Q2. The rest of the unmentioned cars are 2. Now we have a slight wait for Q2. Whilst the game load, and here we are. For some reason it keeps the map, but it doesn't keep the details or track lap time. But now, luckily, we don't have to wait for drivers to set setups. They can go straight out, and it's looking like there's not a single cloud in the sky, so we can definitely say that there is no rain in Q2. And Jonesy is out on track first, which is unusual. Usually it's Lewis out first. You can see Jonesy giving space to Ozan. So we will go on board with Ozan. They will set their the first competitive lap time of Q2, presumably. You see, Ozan put the ERS onto hot lap, and here we go. Ozan now comes down the hill into turn 1, shucks it in, doesn't run wide. Now turn 2 and 3, there is cars there, so hopefully they get out of the way. Ozan doesn't seem to have been bothered though. Oh, tricky more braking. We can see the Mercedes of Jonesy has backed off. Interestingly, there is quite a few medium runners. Oh, Ozan runs a bit wide there. Doesn't invalidate, which is very, very interesting. So Ferrari and the Alfa Tauri backing off, but Ozan comes through with a 1:18.3. Not quite what he would have wanted. Lewis on the median starting a hot lap now. And then Jonesy has invalidated, so presumably ran as spillage goes fastest, 17.5, but probably ran wide out of turn 4 then. Panda slightly quicker. Cummins coming through now. P4 1:89. I'm expecting drivers to need to put down a 1:17.5 to get through. 17.4 maybe. Liam coming through with a 17.2 on mediums. Which is a very good lap. Ozan is going for it again. You can see Lewis has invalidated, has kept it ahead of Brenty, who's on a hot lap on the mediums. Where will Brenty end up? Brenty's made a massive mistake somewhere. 1:25 currently. Sorry. Jonesy goes P2 17.4. Brenty goes last with a 1:30, and Street goes P5 with the 1:17.9. Then having validated again. It's not like Dan. And David going through now. Through the trickiest section of the track. But have gotten through it. McLaren of Dan gets out of the way. David Barry comes through. David Barry goes P5 with a 1:17.7. Sharpie P6 with a 17.8. Brenty went P9 with a 1:18.0, which is slightly more competitive than the 1:30 time they put up last round. Last lap. Then now, on a second push lap on the mediums. So Sharp and Davy Berry just might sneak through. Brenty, I think, is going to have a hard time, especially with Lewis Kronfeld and Dan coming as well. Dan goes 1:17.5 P4. Kronfeld is purple, but that might be the first lap thing. Actually, no, I don't think that carries through. I should just ignore that and commentate on the rest of the screen. Kronfeld coming through now. Goes P2. So I think I'm correct in saying that it doesn't carry through. 17.3 for Kronfeld. We'll go on board with a number 10 driver, Lewis. How on earth have you got number 10? Or is that supposed to be 70 and it's a very bad 7? Because Gutley is number 10, so Lewis gets kicked from the curb, helping get the rotation. It's a very good exit down here. Slightly misses the curve, but it's probably put in the first sector. The very tricky sector uses a lot of curve there. A lot on the exit there. It goes through without spinning. You don't want to ground out. This is very tricky to get right. Just within the track limits. Still purple for Lewis. Again, just off the curb. Comes through. Uses a lot of the exit there. Keeps it tight and then runs out. Takes the long to get more speed, and 1:16.6 is P1, and it will definitely go through. Jonesy. He's improving and is crucially purple through the one. Jonesy keeps it tight on the exit. Has run out of ERS. Go speed to 16.9. Street. Currently in the hot seat. Let's see. Has found a slight improvement, but it gets a bad exit. That might cost a lot of time. It uses a lot on that exit. Just stays inside. Let's see, Street. 3:20 to go. So have time to back off and go again if they want. Street coming through now. has gone into the pits. I don't think you can get in and out. Sharpie with a purple second sector, which is very interesting. The type of street. Dan is out on the softs, and Sharpie goes P2. 16.7. Jamal and Stooge haven't put down a lap yet. We'll see where they end up. Let's see what Stooge has as a second sector. 52.2. Jamal 52.0. Stooge and Jamal. Browns, Jonesy. Stooge P12. Let's see, Jamal goes P4. Very good for Mercedes. Stooge have time to quickly go back around. And Street is coming out now. We'll have to push on the outlap. You don't have time to do this, Street. You don't have time for that. Commons is... Oh, did they get the 2-lap invalidation? No. Lucky for Commons there. So Commons begins their final push for Q3. And Dan has improved to a 16.8 on the softs, so will not start on the mediums. Do that. Broomfield is on an outlap. David Berry's on an outlap. The 17.7. Will it be enough? Commons invalidates. Commons is out of qualifying. Stooge have time to go again and will go again. Do they have fuel for it though? Brenty on the softs. What can they do? P10 and has actually just made it, so they either can go again or back off and save the tires. Stooge just behind. David Berry is down in P11 now, so David Berry coming out was a good thing. Needs to find basically 1/100th of a second. 1100th. As Liam goes quickest with a 16.4. You can see Gronfeld, the only guy in the top 10 on the mediums. Gronfeld though on an outlap. Now in P8 as who improved? Spillage went up into P6. Gronfeld now P8. Will probably be P9 when David Berry crosses the line. Yes. David Berry up into P8. Stooge has invalidated and spun for good measure. And Gronfeld crosses the line. Haven't improved, but is safe on the mediums. So Gronfeld will be on mediums for the start of the race. Will it pay off is the question. With no safety cars, definitely, but it's Portugal. I'm just gonna say that. So, Liam, P1, out of Lewis, Sharpie, Dan, and Jonesy, the top 5. Out is Brenty, Street, iCommand, Stooge, and Ozan. Ozan with a world flag. With Brenty in the strategical pole position, so it'll be interesting to see what they decide to start on. Now we have the top 10 shootout. I'm not even gonna take out the tire graphic because we know everyone will be on softs. You can see Lewis is first out, so order is restored. Now the question is, who has the most tires? Who has fresh tires? And the most important question of all, who is quickest? My money would be on Groenfeld or Dan. I think Lewis, as usual, will get a very good position, just not the best position. But Lewis comes through the final corner. Begins the first half lap of Q3. Oh, misses the curve slightly, goes wide. And Mercedes doesn't help the case as well. Oh, just makes it. Doesn't use nearly as much curb on the entry to the corner as previous laps. Just stays on track there. It's such an easy, that's such a common sport, and so easy to just run that slight bit too wide. And I've just seen that Lewis doesn't have a helmet. That's cool. And that's getting reported. No helmet is definitely some sort of breach. Lewis 16.9, Liam 16.7, Groenfeld 17, flat, spillage 17.2. Then with another invalidation. Sharpie is the next one to cross the finish line. Right now with a competitive lap time 51.5. with the 16.701 current pole position. David comes through with a 17 flat, just behind Kronfeld and Panda. Jamal coming through. Final corner now. Jamal at least has a helmet. That's cool. Jamal 17.3. Now Dan. With barely any ERS left. 16.5. Current pole position for Dan. See Jonesy haven't set a lap time yet. Probably had no first tires then, I'm guessing. So yeah, now it's a bit of downtime before we begin the final. How do you say it in English? The final. The final onslaught? The final... English is hard. But yeah, the final... the final round of hot laps. Kronfeld. Maybe have a couple of laps, a couple of tires then, because they're out very early for the final lap, especially with this being a full qualifying. You can leave it right to the death. In a short qualifying, if you're in the top 10, you have to start on the tires. But here, since it's Q3, you don't. You can just go. Oh, a Kronfeld invalidates. Kronfeld invalidates. Being 3/10 up, roughly. So we will look at Liam. You can see Dan coming out for an outlap. Still 3 minutes to go. It's still very early. But it might also be that they want to make 2 push laps. Liam purple sector 1. Very, very interesting. Sector 1. And it is looking solid through sector 2 as well. Oh, just keeps it on track. And it's purple through sector 2 as well. Liam coming through. 16-3. Currently on pole position. Dan goes purple in the first sector now. Very, very cool to look at them, and Dan invalidates. But Dan has time, can back off, cool the tires, save some URS and go again. We will go on board with Jonesy, who's the furthest ahead. Jonesy hasn't set a lap time for Q3 either, probably just saved the tires. Had no fresh set maybe. And goes purple through sector 1. And with less than a minute to go, Panda and Spillage is done in qualifying. We'll start at best P5 and P8. Liam is also done. That's 2/10 down to Dan. I see Jonesy coming through P4, 16-9. Lewis the Beaker just, I think, invalidated, but just made it. And Dan has invalidated again. Dan will not improve. Dan is done in qualifying. Gronfeld is improving. Dan's downfall today has been invalidations so far. Gronfeld, purple sector 2. I think Dan will be disappointed with that one. Gronfeld now coming through. Where will it be? Gronfeld P3, 16-5. Are these guys pushing? Jonesy is very low on ERS. Jonesy goes into the pits. Lewis the Beaker though, also very low on ERS. 1:16.7, slight improvement of P5, and that is Q3. Liam will be on pole ahead of Sharpie. Gronfeld gets P3. Dan invalidating the last 2 runs in Q3 will start P4. Lewis the Beaker gets P5. Jonesy P6. Jamal P7. Panda getting P8 for Williams. David Berry P9 for McLaren and spillage in P10. It will now take a slight moment until the race begins. So we are here on the grid again, and we can see the countdown has started for the race start with just 20 seconds left. And it will be very interesting to see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relays are on, lights out, and away we go. Spectic jumps the start, and Yuzuri I think also jumped the start. Liam gets through cleanly now. We can see the big position changes are at the back. Lewis gets ahead of Dan though for P4. Dan runs wide long enough to probably not pick up a warning, but in the back Yuzuri has run out very wide. I think that might be front wing related. No, actually yeah, I think Spectic and Yuzuri have front wing damage. And we have Sharpie off. Sharpie has spun it in that tricky section. So early on my predictions are coming together, and Yuzuri has retired. And it's a VSC instantly. That just gives me time to put this graphic up. Didn't look like there were any big losers, by the way. Brenty and of course Sharpie losing 17 spots, and Giffy Boy losing 2 spots. The rest of the people have gained or stayed. Liam keeping P1 ahead of Kronfeld. Lewis making 2 positions up to P3, and lost Lewis but now obviously gained Sharpie, so gets back P4. Mercedes in P5 and 6. Panda P7. And the yellow flags are gone. The VSC has disappeared for the drivers, and Lewis is straight on the back of Kronfeld. And I am expecting Kronfeld to lose out here. Mediums is decent but not as good as the softs. So Lewis will have a big advantage right now, especially out of traction zones such as that one. You can see using ERS. DRS is enabled. Just doesn't get quite close enough. And, oh, and Spectre gets a speeding whilst serving the drive-through. It hasn't started well for Spectic. And we can see several moves down into the chicane being made. Panda side by side with Spillage, leaving each other good space. And Panda is through. Spillage will have to settle down for P8. David Barry is on the back of Spillage as well. Liam picks up the fastest lap of the race. Lewis closing in on, with the DRS. Goes side by side. Oh! So close. A bit of wheel banging, I think, as well. Lewis swoops around the outside, has the DRS. Dan is on the inside of both of them. But Grovell keeps his position now. Lewis and Dan is in a fight. Dan backs out. And we can see the 3-second time penalty is starting to creep in for a couple of the guys now. You can see once this fighting is going on, Liam is just cruising right now for Aston Martin. When I look further down the field, we can see Panda very close to Spillage. But I just can't. Oh, and there's a spin. There's a spin. It's Sharpie again. Sharpie not having a great time right now. Lewis gets through, and this time much clearer through. And now the question is, will Lewis hold on? Liam is gone. What happened there? And it's a safety car, so Lewis will definitely keep P1. Liam lost it out of turn 4. Spun. And crashed into the wall on his left side. Easily done, but being 3 seconds clear, it's devastating. And now the question is, for the lead guys, what do they do? Obviously Grovell can stay out, but Lewis can go in for mediums and go mediums to the end, maybe the medium softs. A lot of the guys will regret this, though this helps Sharpie and Giffy Boy so much. Only now going through turn 4 Sharpie, so now the question is, what does Lewis decide to do? Lewis stays out, Dan dives into the pits. Jonesy stays out, Jamal stays out, Panda stays out, we have David, Street, oh, Commons hits Street into the pits. And Street gets a 5-second time penalty, which he's gonna have to serve the next time he stops. I don't think he's gonna go to the end on these tires. Commons, and he has to change the front wing. I don't know if it was from that, but he definitely had to change the front wing. But if you want to change it at any time, it is under safety car, you want to change it. So A lot of drivers pitting, Dan being the lead guy, David Berry in street, Ozan the in fourth position right now of the pitters. Barbarian stayed out, Spectic has stayed out, Commons, Sharpie, both pitted, and Giffy Boy on the hards. Blue is right now in the lead. Still without a helmet. Because what is safety? I think everyone else has a helmet. Who is it? Just no helmet, so... As we see passing under safety car, that's a bit interesting. I have no idea what's going on here. Spectic is currently in P78 on the hards. Getting through on certain drivers. I have no idea what's going on. But I think there's gonna be some reports about this, so I'm happy I am capturing it. And of course we will see the name flicker, so even though I didn't catch the action at first, I still have the full race rundown. So we get a beautiful shot. Safety car is in this lap. We're gonna see what ends up being the case here with Spectic, who's currently P7 on the hards. Spectic was pretty far down before. I have no clue what's going on. David Barry gets a 5-second time penalty for some reason for ignoring yellow flags. I don't know, maybe... No. I have no idea what's going on. Spectic is dropping like a fly, of course. Gronfeld is getting close to Lewis though. We'll get back on this action. And now Lewis the Beaker will have to use the last life of these softs to try and get away from Gronfeld. Jonesy. Oh, and we can see Panda around the outside of Jamal. Gets it done. Beautiful move. This is what we're at time penalty. Stooge up into P6. Very good race so far. Has a bit of oversteer there. Almost does the same as before. And we have a spinner. Fosket has spun. Question is, was that losing the car, or was it something else? Street gets through on Brenty. Brenty gets back through. You can see on the time, in the standings, the time board, Jamal has a look but doesn't go for it. Decides to stay behind a bit. Sharply picks up a time penalty. Sharply's had a horrible race so far. 2 spins down in 15th. From a brilliant qualifying from Sharply up into P14 now. But Barbarian is fighting back. Get some eyes on this battle. Barbarian is ahead now. What Sharply hopes for, but now on the outside swoops around and has the inside, but is clean through. Cummins is having a look as well. But Barbarian is also looking at Sharpie. Barbarian picks up a time penalty. And DRS is enabled, so now it will get interesting. Spectic up into P8 ahead of Dan. Spectic is ghosting for some reason. Dan goes through. Grunfeld isn't close enough. Jonesy is very close to Grunfeld though. I don't know if Spectic is just decent. I'm not sure. Fortunately I don't have them added, so I can't send invites. Grunfeld is closing. Lewis defends the inside. Grunfeld goes clean around the outside. And the question is, whoops, wrong button. Lewis can't do anything. Lewis around the outside. Grunfeld. Lewis tries to switch back though. Can't get the traction down. Those softs are... Oh, Lewis gets a time penalty. Got a bit crossed up and now has to fight with Jonesy. Keeps P2 though, but the time penalty can come in crucial. We have another spinner in Ozan this time. Jones is so close to Lewis. Lewis dropping back now from Grunfeld, but is within that DRS distance. So we'll get a bit of help now down this main straight. Very good racing from these two. And Jonesy down up the hill. Oh, Lewis may have gotten another warning that Jonesy looked at the outside but couldn't get through. Jamal close as well, but can't get through. Barbarian keeping ahead of Icon so far. Lewis has dropped Grunfeld now. The softs aren't as quick as the mediums anymore. Little Giffy boy. Icon is dropping big time. What has happened? think Iconus made a mistake somewhere. But now Jonesy should get this move done easily. We can see Jamal in the background making the move as well. Dan picks up the fastest lap of the race. Lewis with the switchback has to goes off track though, so should give that position back. Has kept P2 for now, but now Jonesy will easily get. Oh, but again a switchback from Lewis. It's so fun seeing Lewis without a helmet. I'm sorry for commentating on that, but it's hilarious. In all this fighting, Grunfeld is 2 seconds clear now. So it's a Liam 2.0 situation here. Lewis is not faring too well on the old softs. It's starting to drop back from Jones as well. Jamal is now having a look. Oh, and Jonesy faked the pit, and Lewis bit. Hook, line and sinker. Question is, did Lewis want to pit anyways? This with the medium tires. Something Dan and a few other drivers did 7 laps ago. Dan is on the back of Jamal on the very own softs now. Of course has at least one, possibly, or at least technically 3 laps with in push and out lap, or vice versa, but and then so yeah, the tires is a bit more worn than that. Has about 16-17 laps run on them, and we might have done a second push lap as well. So the tires are starting to die out, and Jamal dives into the pits. It has given Dan free DRS, which will make Dan close in on Jonesy. Only slightly. Panda has stayed within that DRS of Dan. But we will look at Brenty going very wide. Brenty doesn't get through on sharply this time. Brenty on all the mediums. Oh, Brenty running wide, that's definitely a warning. Spectic keeping up as well. Dan has gotten within that DRS of Jonesy as well, so it's just a matter of time before we switch to that battle. But for the meantime, Spectic all runs wide there. I'm telling you, it's a very tricky corner. Deceivably. Panda dives into pits. And Dan is now very close to Jonesy. 15 lap old softs now. They are not happy. Brenty picks up another time penalty. We will get penalties out closer to the end of the race as usual, because his Spectic has spun it in the same part of the track as Liam, and it's a virtual safety car. Will it turn into a safety car? Grunfeld doesn't hope so. Jonesy will hope so. Jose will want to pit on the VSC. The horse has gotten going again, so the VSC will not be out for long. Dennis. Spectic has no front wing. So that is what happened to Spectic. Jonesy does go in. How long is the VSC out for though? Here's the question. Jonesy will hope for a bit longer. We can see Brent is also coming in. Probably for hards. Spectic is also obviously in. Jonesy has gotten the free pit stop. Gets out just behind the Haas, unfortunately. But it's out in P8, and there we go. Jonesy with a perfect pit stop. P8 after that. And Ozan is now on the back of Jonesy. Ozan and Iceland. I've seen now that Jonesy is within the DRS of Giffy Boy. Ozan has actually dropped Jonesy quite big. Giffy Boy picks up a 3-second time penalty. But older hards against fresh mediums, this will be a cakewalk for Jonesy. He has done him. Question is, can Giffy Boy get him back? He's dropping like a stone on Jonesy though. So Jonesy is actually far enough. We can see Jonesy jumped Lewis, for example, who is in P10 right now. Lovely view of absolutely no cars there, game. Thank you very much. I have to seize. Oh, actually, no, never mind. It just disappeared. Incredible. It might come back. Dan setting purple sector times is hunting Groenfeld. I don't know how long Groenfeld is gonna try to go. Maybe lap 25, 20, 23 to 25, I believe. Obviously has been helped by 2 VSEs and a safety car now to carry the tires a bit longer. Groenfeld has been helped by Lewis to get the right car. Is closing in on Giffy Boy now. And will likely get the move done on this DRS straight after turn 4 down into turn 5. Giffy Boy shuts the inside. Lewis again with the switchback move. Has he gotten it done? Yes, he has made it work this time. Lewis the Beaker, switchback merchant. Sharpie and Stooge, P4 and 5. Sharpie has had a big revenge from that horrible start. And is easily getting through Stooge. I doubt Stooge will try and make a move. Stooge is also blinking like crazy, so has next to 0 ERS. And Sharpie is clearly in P4 and still 2.7 seconds behind. As we can have a look at this train. That is headed by Giffy Boy and contains Ozan, Spillage, Jamal and Panda. Under pressure from Panda, but Panda bad exit out of the penultimate corner. But you need the speed from the penultimate corner, and we can see Jonesy have gotten through. Very close, but can't. Just can't get close enough. You can see Lewis just in the background there getting away as quick as possible. You can see the exit open, just not close enough. Jamal has a car on the outside. Panda have a look, couldn't make it work. He's very close though, but this is such a technical part, it's so hard to get through. It's gonna be tough for him to follow as well. And Gronfeld goes in lap 20. Not enough. Goes in for what I assume is soft tires. Stooge as well. Gronfeld soft tires on that Alfa Romeo. Stooge as well on the softs. Ozan into the pits for soft tires. Now we can see Jamal side by side. Breaks earlier than Spillage though, and stays in P10 for now. Spillage. You see a couple using softs now. Spillage. Still very close to Giffy Boy. Giffy Boy on kind of old hards now. 18 laps. Spillage on 10 lap. As we have a spinner, Commons has spun it in the first corner and goes down to P18. And this is a fight for the points. Fight for P8, 9, 10. And 11. Panda trying to get... Oh, and Panda just runs off track and gets a penalty. Lewis though, close to street, doesn't go for it. Jamal is defending. Stays ahead. Giffy Boy into the pits from the hards. They could have finished the race on those hards. But goes in for soft tires and goes out in P14, just behind Ozan. Ozan with the undercut. And Giffy Boy. So that tells me that if these guys want to pit, mainly Spillage, They will have to do so this lap. Do not drop too far back. Don't want to end up behind the horses. I think they will stay out, but Stooge is gonna come like a locomotive at the tail end. I think Brenty has spun. Yep. No. Wrong Ferrari. Sorry about that. Sharpie in for softs. Sharpie is in for softs. Will Stooge be out? Ahead or behind? Behind Sharpie. So the Alpines will have a fight for the final point right now. On the soft tires, but they can probably get up to this group, which is Spiller, Jamal and Panda, and get involved for more points. I'm thinking Spillage on 12 lap old mediums right now. We'll only see Jamal and Panda being very close. Won't see Sharpie being 3.7 seconds behind and closing. But if you're listening, you'll know. Dan and David Berry has gone into the pits, both of them. So the Ferrari Barbarian will unlap. Jonesy will go up into P1. Grofeld into P2. Dan will go P3, just ahead of Lewis de Beeker. So we're still looking at this train of cars that just can't get each other. But Dan, with that stop, have secured the P3 unless a time penalty happens. We will pull away from Lewis very easily. Lewis on 10 lap mediums and fresh softs. Last game, or the next game, sorry, it could be a different story because the tires are going to be very, very cold when you get out of the pits. It's going to be interesting. Street has joined this party, or rather, Spillage has gone up to the back of Street. And now the question is going to be Street instantly into the pits, but Spillage has gotten a free usage of DRS, which will be very annoying for Jamal. Should have wanted to get close to Spillage, maybe even through on Spillage. And we can see Sharpie has joined. Jamal has a look, but can't get close enough. Now it will be interesting with Sharpie joining this party. The soft tires will be very, very quick compared to these guys, and we'll have to get through them ASAP to have a chance of getting up to Lewis de Beeker. We will change the penalties, and we will assume anyone that pits now pits for softs. We can see Sharpie now pushing, using a lot of DRS. It's gonna be tricky now with this DRS train. Sharpie pulls out, but doesn't have the speed. Has a look on the inside, decides to brake hard. Oh, I think Panda had a bad exit. Sharpie on the outside. easily gets through, can break so much later, and Sharpie is up into P7. Oh, that's a Haas. And a Ferrari. Luckily no safety cars though. And there is the Ferrari of, I would assume, Barbarian. Sharp is so close to Jamal. Jamal though without penalties, very impressive. Giffy boy with 17 seconds, Cummins with 19. Let's see here, Sharpie. Isn't getting close, but Jamal on the inside has a look, can't get it through. Now Sharpie decides to stay behind. Will use the slipstream, gets a better exit. Is so close, goes to the inside, breaks very hard, and Jamal carries it through. Beautifully done from Jamal to keep ahead of Sharpie. Very impressive driving from the Mercedes driver. And we might switch off this battle soon, because Gromfeld has gotten into the DRS of Jonesy. So this will be the last time around we follow this battle. Will Sharpie get through? Jamal on defensive, and he has stayed ahead in that train, but Gromfeld has caught up. We are quickly gonna take a look. Jonesy 11 lap mediums, Gromfeld 6 lap softs. It will be clear who has the advantage, but Dan is calling out to the guys, hey, wait for me, I only have 3 lap old softs, and will get involved in this battle. Alpha Tauri right now with a very beautiful 4-5, which is about 22 points, I believe. Though Jamal is staying in that P6 right now. But here we go, Gromfeld easily gets it done on the straight. Now, the question is, does Jones have enough grip in those to somewhat challenge Gromfeld into turn 5? I think so. No. Dan is having a look. Wants to get through as quick as possible now, because Jonesy is gonna lose time to Gromfeld very, very quick. Dan now. And a look. Not using any URC. Trying to get close, but Jones is staying with Gromfeld as well. This is gonna be a wonderful little battle for a few laps. And Sharpie And just a heads up, has gone through on Jamal. So Sharpie is up into P6 right now. Oh, Dan is around the outside and is through. Dan up into second place. Will have to use a lot of skill. Street getting a time penalty, and DNFs into the pits with just a couple of laps to go, and Dan has picked up a 3-second time penalty, just what he didn't want. Dan has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Gronfeld will have seen that and definitely sighed of relief, because Dan has 2 laps to get through on Gronfeld and pull a 3-second gap, which I think Gronfeld is gonna keep. We are gonna have a look at the warnings though for Gronfeld. I'm not gonna tell anyone in case there is someone listening, but I have not looked at the warnings for Gronfeld and know the situation. I've also looked at Jonesy, so I know these top 3. Giffy Boy time penalty. I am not even gonna try to count that. Sharpie has gone through up into P5. Jamal has sneaked through with them into P6. Is the update from the midfield. Panda trying to get past Spillage now. But looking at it right now, Jamal is getting P5 and Panda DNFs. No safety cars though, as it's too late in the race. As we begin the final lap of the race, Dan, can he force Gronfeld into something? Tries the outside, gets a good rotation. And Jones is licking his lips. He knows he will get P2 right now. Ooh, just chasing the track there though. Dan. Oh, and Dan runs into the back of Gronfeld. Right at the end. I get the sneeze as well. Dan is trying everything to get through, but it's not gonna happen. Gronfeld is coming through the final corner and will win on track. Dan gets P3 after penalties. Jonesy P2. Lewis is gonna come through for P4. Now the question is, can Jamal keep within 3 seconds of Sharpie? Jamal gets P5. Spillage P7. David Barry pips Spillage. Stooge picks up 2 points, and Ozan is gonna pick up a singular point because Brenty has 9 seconds more penalties than Ozan. Spectic is coming through. This is a battle to P12 between Spectic and Foskett. Foskett is having a look. And Foskett can't get through. Spectic is gonna keep P12 for the Haas driver. A very good drive. Lewis did to the switchback merchants. I mean, you did go for a lot of switchback moves. So you can't say I'm wrong. But wow, what a race. I think Giffy Boy or Spectic, one of the horse drivers got driver of the day. We can see the Dane up top Kronfeld with a good drive. So Kronfeld picks up the win ahead of Jonesy. Dan gets P3 of the penalties. Lewis and the switchback merchant gets P4 ahead of Jamal, who did very well to get P5. Sharpie gets P6, David Barry P7, Spillage P8, Stooge P9. Ozan picks up the final point for Alfa Romeo. Ferrari gets their best driver in P11, Brenty. Spectic P12, Foskett, Commons, Barbarian, Giffy Boy, Panda getting classified, DNFs, Street also getting classified, Liam and Yuzuri, the only DNFers in this race. I will have a look in the incident report and see if I caught everything today as well. But that has been the race. What a beautiful race. What a wonderful race. My driver of the day is I will say Jamal had a very good race. Only moving up 2 spots, but definitely did very well. No penalties as well. Yeah, definitely a good race. Next time out, May 30th, we will be in Abu Dhabi, so I'm expecting full wet in that race. Round number 7, that is. After that we have a sprint race in Silverstone. Very interesting indeed. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. Yeah, I have been your host, Jesper. See you guys next time. Enjoy your nights, and goodbye.